You know that feeling, right? After someone makes a real impression on your heart, suddenly their name just seems to be everywhere. It's a really strange and kind of confusing experience, and in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what's going on.
Okay, so let's get right into this feeling. You're trying your best to move on, you're trying to distract yourself, but it honestly feels like the universe is playing a trick on you. It just keeps throwing these little reminders in your face, turning a simple name into this constant, unavoidable presence.
And as all these so-called coincidences start to pile up, this one huge question starts to bubble up in your mind. Is this a sign? Is this some kind of message telling me what to do? It's a total emotional roller coaster, and it can be so hard to know what to think.
It usually starts small, right? You're just mindlessly scrolling through your social media, not thinking about anything in particular, and then, bam, there it is. Someone with that exact same name shows up, and your heart just does that little jump.
But then, it starts to spread. You're watching a totally random video, something that has nothing to do with them, maybe a movie review or a cooking tutorial, and you hear the names spoken out loud. And that feeling that it's everywhere just gets a little bit stronger.
And then it escapes the screen and jumps into the real world. You're just sitting in a cafe or on the bus, and you overhear the people next to you talking, and you hear it again, their name. At that point, it seriously feels like you can't escape it.
So what is really going on here? Is this some mystical sign, or is there something else at play? Let's shift gears for a second, away from the feeling and toward the science, because there's a really clear, rational reason this happens, and it has everything to do with your brain.
So what's the deal? Well, here's the thing. It's not a sign from the universe. It's actually a well-known psychological phenomenon called selective attention. See, once someone becomes really important to you, your mind creates this secret filter. It becomes super sensitive to anything and everything connected to them.
The easiest way to understand this is the new car analogy. Think about it. Let's say you decide you want to buy a red Mini Cooper. All of a sudden, you start seeing red Mini Coopers everywhere. The thing is, more red Mini Coopers didn't magically appear on the road. Your awareness just shot through the roof. Your brain is now programmed to spot them. It's the exact same thing with a person's name.
But psychology is only one part of the story. There's also a really deep spiritual way to look at this, one that's centered around the idea of destiny, or qadr, and what that truly means for us.
In the Islamic tradition, destiny, or qadr, isn't something that's revealed through confusing, random clues like seeing a name over and over. No, it's revealed through clear actions, through halal and proper channels, and through the unmistakable will of Allah. It's all about clarity, never confusion.
And this really shows you the two completely different roads you can take. When you're chasing what you think are signs, it almost always leads to confusion, a lot of heartache, and this feeling like every door is slamming in your face. But a path that is genuinely from Allah, that path is marked by clarity, by peace and blessings, by respect, and by a feeling of ease. One feels like a constant struggle, the other feels like coming home.
So what if we've been looking at this whole thing the wrong way? What if these signs aren't a green light to chase after someone? What if, instead, they're meant to teach us something really important about ourselves?
And this is where the real inner work starts. Instead of looking outside for another sign, this feeling is a cue to look inside. The first, most honest question you have to ask yourself is, why? Why is this person still taking up so much space in my heart and my head?
And we can go even deeper. Ask yourself, is this attachment, this constant cycle of thinking about them, is it actually bringing me closer to Allah, or is it just pulling me further and further away from my own peace?
Which brings us to probably the most powerful question of them all. Is it possible that I'm desperately holding on to something, a hope, a memory, an idea, that Allah is gently asking me to let go of? Because sometimes the biggest lesson is found in surrender.
So all of this leads us to the main point, shifting from a place of anxiety and confusion to a place of deep trust. It's about knowing your worth, protecting your heart, and having total, unshakable faith in the divine plan.
Your heart is often described as an amana, which means sacred trust given to you by Allah. And you protect a trust, right? It's precious. It wasn't designed to be broken over and over again by chasing after uncertainty or someone who isn't available. It deserves peace.
Because when something is truly right, when it's meant for you, it won't feel like a difficult puzzle you have to solve. It's going to start with clarity, not confusion. It's going to start with respect, not secrecy. And it's going to start with clear intentions, not constant uncertainty.
And this right here, this is the ultimate source of peace. Just let this sink in. What Allah has written for you will find you, no matter what. And anything that passed you by, well, it was never meant to be part of your story in the first place.
So the next time you see that name, I want you to just pause and ask yourself this one simple question. Am I going to get lost chasing a sign, or am I going to put my trust in the one who wrote the entire story? That choice makes all the difference.